And now, here on AMTV, the next part of our collection series, and we're taking a look at what VHS we have left. Hi there guys, it's Martyn here, and welcome to the next set of these collection videos. Now, don't worry, we're not going over the DVDs again. I already did a whole mammoth part series about the AMTV DVD collection, but what I often get asked is to talk about is my VHS collection, and I'm afraid this is it. These are all the VHS tapes I currently still own. That's not including the Doctor Who VHS that I own, because there's quite a few bits and pieces of that. But aside from Doctor Who, these four piles are the only remnants of VHS that I have. Obviously, when I was a kid, I had tons and tons of VHS, but then as you get older and things get thrown away, etc. So I've only got a small pile, but I think a small pile is all you really need. So we'll go through these four and talk a bit about them. So the first one we've got is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which of course is the classic 1971 film. I've had this tape for a very long time in the family. I used to watch it a lot because, I mean, I love this movie. It's very hard not to love these movies. And yeah, I can't see myself getting rid of it really. It's just too classic to throw out. Next one some fans will like. It's Michael Jackson's Dangerous, the short films. So this is a collection of all the music videos from the album Dangerous, which as you can see there, those were the 9 singles if you like. And it's also got lots of you know, awards ceremonies clips and live performances. I imagine back in 1993 this was actually a really cool VHS tape to own. I believe this has been released on DVD in various collections, so, but I found it in a charity shop for like 10 pence, so I thought, yeah, why not? So we're entering a trilogy now of Pet Shop Boys stuff. So this is a Pet Shop Boys Discography, which is named and designed after the compilation album they put out in 1991. So this tape is all of their music videos up until that point. So this has everything from West End Girls back in 1985 all the way up until DJ Culture, which was like the new track of 1991. So there's a lot of videos on there. Just a really cool like novelty release, I guess, to have from the 90s. That's the first in the quote-unquote trilogy. Next I have Various by the Pet Shop Boys, which is basically the same concept, but these are the music videos from their Very album. There's a lot less of these. There's Can You Forgive Her, Go West, I Wouldn't Normally Do This Kind of Thing, Liberation, Yesterday When I Was Mad, Absolutely Fabulous, and Go West Part 2. So again, nice little cool novelty release when bands put their music videos out on VHS. And I also have their movie, It Couldn't Happen Here, from 1988. This is a really odd release because, I mean, a lot of people don't realise the Pet Shop Boys had a movie. For the longest time, you could only watch this movie on VHS, like it came out in the cinema, but home media-wise, it was only on VHS. The BFI recently put out a Blu-ray version, which is limited edition and I do own. I just, you know, it's the only way to watch this really was on tape for a long time, so you can get the Blu-ray, but if not, you can always have a good old VHS to help you out with that one, can't you? Here we have Magikai the video. Oh boy, remember these? Anyone who grew up in the 90s and early 2000s will. Those picture books where you stare at an image long enough and you might see something. It's basically that, but as a video cassette. This was, I just like think the music's really cool, a lot of like chilled out music, so yeah, I'm all for this one. This one's absolutely fine. They promised a volume 2 on the inside, which I don't think ever came to be. This one's really cool. This is a double set of The Hobbit and Return of the King. These are the animations that were done back in the 1970s and early 1980s. I actually had The Hobbit on a different release as a kid. I think my dad brought it back from America on one of his trips, and I don't have that copy anymore. But this one is actually, well, it's just in a, you know, standard VHS tape box there. I got this because of a little tradition. So every Christmas Eve, me and my brother have this tradition of watching a film. Doesn't have to be a Christmas film, but a film on VHS. Don't know why, just something we started, and it'll be our 10th year doing it this year. And The Hobbit was one of them, because we wanted to remember what it was like. I had to import this from America, so it wasn't the cheapest VHS, but it still works, and The Hobbit is still a great thing to watch. I do need to watch the Return of the King VHS, though. Next we have a tape I've shown numerous times in videos, but it is Brum's Biggest Party video. I often credit this as being the oldest VHS tape that I own. Well, not oldest, I mean one I've had for the longest time, which is probably true. It came out in 1998 and I can believe I got it around that time. Basically what it is it's 7 episodes of Brum. It's the second series from 1994 there. And these were my Brum expose for a very long time. I know these episodes back to front. I still love the fact that I've got this VHS after over 20 years, basically. It's the one that I wanted to hold on to the most when there was the great VHS purge. So I'm really, really happy to still have this. One for fans of After These Messages, you've got Hamlet, the video. That's right, the cigar company with the famous adverts. So they put out a videotape which is basically detailing the history of the ads and also shows off a great selection of them. It's not a long tape, it's only half an hour, but there's great like little filmed links in between, and it's just a very funny way of celebrating Hamlet. I guess not celebrating smoking, I don't advocate that, but their adverts, there's a lot of them on here. And now this tape is actually a contender for Brum for the oldest tape, but I have a long history. It's The Lion King, but this is a bootleg copy, as you can see. That's not Zazu there, is it? And there's just a random Oscar symbol in the cloud for some reason. This is a bootleg copy from Asia, and yeah, you can tell when you watch it, it's clearly filmed by someone in a cinema. Like, it's got opening credits and people laughing at the funny bits. But you know what, as a kid, I was never bothered by it. I just watched The Lion King, and this was the only way I watched it for a very, very long time. So when I actually got to see The Lion King in what I joke as, like, good normal definition, I was shocked because I was so used to crappy quality. But I won't get rid of it. It's so much of an oddity that I can't bring myself to throw it away. Right, moving on to the third pile. This next one is actually quite the oddity. This is a Walt Disney World Resort in Florida from the Disney Travel Company. This is basically, oh look, it opens, ta-da! This is an advertisement for going to Walt Disney World. See, there's 100 Years of Magic, so this would have been 2002. This was basically trying to tease you to book your holiday, you know. So, and honestly, we did get it at the time as well, before we went to Disneyland in 2002, because I went that year and it was really cool. But yeah, we just have this advertisement tape. It's a really unique oddity. Next up we have Shrek, and I mean, who doesn't own Shrek? Shrek is love after all. I had this as a kid. This is my original copy from like 2001, 2002, and it was one of those films that, as I mentioned, me and my brother watched on Christmas Eve as our VHS film, so that's why I still have it here. Another one of those films is the Muppets Christmas Carol, an actually Christmassy film that we watched, and I mean, what is there to say? Muppets Christmas Carol is timeless, it's classic, and everyone loves it. Here's a cracking old film, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Everyone loves Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Really fun, you know, classic film, starring some great performances from Dick Van Dyke, Sally Ann Howes, Lionel Jeffries. Just watch it. You have Matilda, which was one of our Christmas Eve tape films, you know, the Danny DeVito one. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's got a lot of heart, and honestly, you can just laugh at this one. A more pertinent one now, we have Diana, A Tribute, A Life to Remember. This was actually from my grandmother, and it's basically a tribute video to the late Princess of Wales, who was very much loved by the vast majority of the British public and still is to this day. So yeah, I was happy enough to keep this tape. And we have Spider-Man, the 2002. Yes, they actually put this out on VHS, and it includes a 25-minute bonus feature which you have to fast forward past the credits to get to. Again, this is one I had as a kid, and it's also the first one me and my brother chose to watch as our VHS film on Christmas Eve. Don't know why. But, you know, it's the Tobey Maguire one. Is it cheesy in places? Oh, absolutely. But you've got to love it. It started off the whole trend of the Spider-Man films, so you can't complain too much, I think. And I'll always keep it on tape. Moving on to the last pile now. So we've got Stitch the Movie, not Lilo and Stitch. Stitch the Movie. This basically served as the pilot movie to the Stitch TV show that came out, where they basically hunt the remaining experiments. And I love that show, and I love this movie. I think I won this in a competition on VHS, so that's why I have it on VHS. You have My Little Broom, which is a very odd release. It says a treat-sized tape, yet there's only 2 episodes on here. One of them is on the other tape, Brum and the Big Chase, but then there's Brum as an ice skating star, which is nice to have on there as well. But funny that they decided to put out a tape that only contained 2 episodes. Just seems a bit odd. We have Beauty and the Beast Special Edition, which was our VHS film last year, and rest assured, this one's not a bootleg. I did used to have a bootleg Beauty and the Beast, but this is actually this is a proper one as well. And I mean, this has always been a contender for my favorite Disney animated film, you know, tied with the Lion King. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Next up we have Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, which is actually quite a DreamWorks film from like 2003-04, so I'm amazed there was a VHS version. It's fine. It's a really inoffensive film. It's not bad at all. I mean, Brad Pitt's Sinbad is debatable, but it's a fun film, and it was one of our Christmas Eve films. Another Christmas Eve film is The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version. I mean, this is bonkers, but I love it. I love Jim Carrey's performance as the Grinch, and I know the original animated one is often beloved, but I love this one. Grew up with this one. Still my original tape too. Coming up to the end, you've got this one, which is 1944, A Year to Remember, which is a collection of clips from said year, which was obviously the year D-Day happened. Again, this is one from my grandmother, who lived through the war, actually. But yeah, nice historical tape. And the final tape I have for you is the most important video you'll ever watch. Nah, I'm only kidding. This one's a bit weird. This is basically, who is it from there? It says postage paid by the Royal Mail. This was delivered to people warning of a Labour government in 1997. That's right, this is a tape saying that Labour is bad, Tories are good, vote them in. Well, that didn't work out too well for him, did it? But yeah, I just love the blatantness. Look at the most important video you ever watched. The audacity, the absolute audacity of them, man. But that, sadly, guys, is really it for my VHS collection. As I said, I don't have many tapes anymore, and I don't really go out of my way to collect tapes. I don't really need to, outside of, say, Doctor Who or some really niche ones. So this little square pile of tapes is what I'll keep for now, and some may go even further down the line, you know, sadly. But, you know, all technology passes on, and sadly VHS didn't make the cut. But I hope you've enjoyed watching this little collection video on the remaining VHSs I own. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on the video, and let me know in the comments, do you still own any VHS tapes? And if so, have you got a big collection of them, or have you only got a small collection like me? Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new and you want to see more content, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time. A massive thank you to our producer and director patrons for your support towards us here at AMTV. You just help keep us going, and that's massively appreciated. And that does bring us to the end of another evening here on AMTV. We hope you enjoyed the programme. Please do keep supporting the channel with all our festive offerings that we have for you every single day of December. And until you tune in again, we hope to see you next time. Good night.